Now you don't want anybody to make the mistake that this this group node is something that you can apply keyframes to. So let me show you quickly how to lock down translation, rotation, and scale. With the group node selected, come right over here, select all of the information here, right click on there, and you can come right down here to lock and hide. Okay, the visibility is still on, so you can see it. You can turn that on and off if you want to, because it's under one group now, but you can yeah. So now let's go ahead and okay, additionally, it's also wise to come in here with each controller and lock down the information that you do not want keyed on these nodes. So if this is translation up and down only, you can see that it's responding to the movement. Then you grab all of these that are not going to be keyframed, right click and say lock and hide those as well. You can go ahead in here then and keyframe on that particular one there. I just wanted to wet your palette with rigging and animation just a little bit to get you a good pose for your portfolio, as well as give you a little taste of rigging and animation. So if you've never tried it, you might like it. If you like it, you can go on and explore those avenues a little bit more after this class by taking an animation or rigging course. Okay, some riggers like to color the controls, just makes it a little bit easier, I guess, to see them. This one I might have to reposition because I can barely get a hold of it. Yeah, probably gonna need to do that. But let me show you quickly how to color them. So if you like color, you can certainly do that. Select on one of your controllers, come over here to Attribute Editor with your Shape tab selected. Come on down to Object Display here. And Drawing Overrides, here we go. Enable Overrides, and then you can choose your color here. So make that bright blue. Now you can see that's bright blue. So it would have been better seeing if it were bright pink maybe. Alright, so that's how you color. And so if you like color, go ahead and color your controllers. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, very important for your rig, is to limit the rotation and translation on your controls. So let me show you very quickly. It's simple to do and worthwhile to set those limitations, min and max, minimum and maximum translation and rotation on these controls, so that you can animate this freely without having too much difficulty in controlling these. So let's go ahead and select your translation node for your tire, and we're going to come right over here to the Attribute Editor, and under this main tab we're looking for limit information. Now it's ideal, since you have other controls on here that are going to control your different parts of your vehicle, it's important to keep that in mind when you're setting your min and max. So if you have suspension that allows your vehicle to go this far in the air shocks maybe, then you're going to want to make sure that you account for that and not set your maximum value to the frame of the car as it sits on the ground. This would be normal, but keeping in mind that you have other controls on the vehicle that are going to be needing to animate, then you don't want to be in a position where you have to redo this information because your your maximum value only allows you to go this far, and you really need to go this far. Okay, so for your values, you're going to come right in here and select on translate, rotate. Scale is probably not an option that we're going to be using for vehicles very often anyway. But we're going to translate, set the min and max values on the translate node. So we're going to go ahead and draw this up to the what we think is the maximum. You're going to need to know your rig and know your vehicle and what the capabilities of these other controls are going to be in order to accurately set these. But for a vehicle, I'm going to go ahead and set it up about 175. Once I have that value, I can go ahead and click this arrow, which transfers the information to the maximum. Go ahead and select on that, and then you have the maximum set for that particular control. Now, in order to set the minimum, what you're going to do is think of the position of the wheel. Okay, I'm going to set that value back down because my suspension is not going to rock that hard on this vehicle. It's not an off-road vehicle. So I set my max to 1, and I'm just going to go ahead and come back up here, set my translation to -1, and that's actually probably pretty far. What you're going to do, actually that's not too bad, some cleanup to do in here yet, but what you're going to do is know the position of that tire if this car were in the air and the axle were dropped, the suspension were dropped in full, what that position would be. And I'm just going to call it -1 and go ahead and key that in here. And now we have the min and max set for this particular controller. So if we come over back here to the channel box and want to animate that, then you have min and max of 100, and you can't go beyond that. So we'll set that at 0 and go on to another control. You want to work your way around and key the controls that you have, and it's also good practice to always, actually the visibility also, it's good practice to select everything including the visibility so that none of this other categories get keyframes on them. So we're going to lock and hide all of those. So the only thing left to key is this, and there's no mistake, there's no keyframes accidentally being placed on another translation or rotation value. Alright, so work your way around and go ahead and get the min and max set on your controls, as well as hiding and locking and hiding the controls that you're not going to be using.